Okay, hello YouTube. Starting a new project. First time I tried to do this, so it's going to be a little bit awkward for me, but let's have at it. I've got a 1917 Enfield, a sporterized stock for it, and I'm going to change this into a sniper rifle. It's already, the work on the hardware, the metal parts of it have been done, and now I'm going to do some woodwork. And so I'm going to take you through a couple of the phases. It's not an instructional video. I just want to document what I'm doing. We'll try it out and see how that works. Okay, so here's the deal. I bought this 1917 Enfield about 20 years ago. It's been a great gun. It's been rechambered for a 300 Winchester Magnum. It has been a tack driver all these years. I've glass bedded the receiver. It's been locked in for years. It works great. Problem is, I don't like the grip in the front. I don't like, I can't attach a bipod and any other accessories now. So I want to put a Picatinny rail on it and to be able to have a bipod and an attachment point for a sling and any other tactical accessories that I want. The width has always been too small for me. I'm 6'2". I got pretty big mitts, so I want to change that. I have a hard time finding the replacement stocks for this, and since this one's been accurized already, and I've got a recoil pad, Pachmayr recoil pad on it, and it fits me nicely, I don't want to change that part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a hand foregrip to this and nest it in, cut it out. Now what I've done is I went to Home Depot and I got a red oak piece, handrail for a banister. And I like the way that it feels. I can work with it. It's big enough to fit over this, and I'll be able to attach it without too much of a problem, I think. We'll see. Okay, to begin with, there's some critical points that I wanted to touch on. I told you before that it's been glass bedded, and the receiver's been set in. It's locked in tight. I don't want to mess with those parts of it. But the barrel here has been free-floated, so it doesn't touch anything, but I need some support to make the attachment up top here. So what I've done is I made sure, and I've made some markings and measurements on this, that I do not, no matter what, mess with where it's been locked in and glass bedded. Okay, so what I plan to do is to look to see where I can cut and make this nice and square so I can fit it, fit the hand grip over top of it and lock it in. My plan is to get it fit very nicely, make it taper, round it off with routers and sand it. I'm going to change the end of it a little bit, shorten up the hand grip in the front. And at that point, I'll be able to glue this on and lock it in. It's going to take a little bit of artistry, I think. Let's go from there. Okay, a little progress update here. I just got in from the shop. I was out there running the table saw, which is what I did most of this work with. And as you can see there, I've notched out the woodwork here all the way down. Not pretty, it's not perfect. Can't be too smooth. I need the glue to adhere to it. The stock, I've made it squared off up at the end where it's rounded. I'm going to take that off anyway, so that doesn't matter so much. Let's see if it'll fit together. little too tight there. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Alrighty. So far, so good. It's going to need to be trimmed up and mated well all the way up, but it nests very nicely. I've got to get this end trimmed up and mated to this. It's going to go over top of this a little bit more. And at that point, once this is done, I'll cut the end off how I want it. All right, I'll check back in a little later. Okay, I'm back. I wanted to update you on the status of things. I have done some woodwork, cut this down, sanded it down, made this meet up pretty nice. It's still kind of rough. Still need to do some work. But as far as it goes, I just wanted to update you. I had to put the receiver and the barrel back in to the stock to make sure and measure the center line of the barrel and where I want the hand grip to go in relationship to that. Other than that, I have done some checkering on this. The existing checkering, or checker, was wore down pretty bad, so I just touched it up to bring it up, sharpen it up a little bit. I don't know how that's going to be once I put the textured finish on this, but it couldn't hurt. Okay, another update. So I've glued this in, filled it at the end. Been working on the mating portion of it. It still needs a little bit of work, sanding it down pretty good. Went through and sanded the smooth finish off of the rest of the stock. You can see where checkering was done. Touched it up on the other side also. And so it's almost ready to paint. The inside of this, again, not where I glass bedded it, but the rest of it in here I've coated with epoxy and made sure that the barrel was free floated. I wanted to coat that with the epoxies to make sure that no moisture, no water would get in there and split the wood later on. So we're going to proceed from that point. Happy with it so far, pretty much. We're rocking and rolling. Okay, going to bring you up to date today on what's been done so far. If you can, I hope you can see this well enough, but smoothed out the stock and I've filled the area and I think I need to do just a little bit more sanding now. I see it in the light, a little bit more, but it feels really good and really solid. I'm going to move on. I put paint on the stock to see where I've sanded it and to fill any small imperfections. The next step for me is to install a third leg into this. Will go into the back of the stock here at the butt end, and it will offer me an adjustable platform as a third leg, bipod in the front, this in the back, offer very, very stable shooting, especially from the bench. But in the field, this is basically a bolt, a couple of rod couplings, and I will modify it to make sure that it only has one of the wings on the wing nut. Everything is going to be blued or parkerized, or so there's no more shiny galvanized finish when I'm done. This will be smoothed off and rounded on this end. That's going to be the third leg that comes out of the back. It will not have to stay in the gun at all times, but inside the gun stock will have a, that's where I'm going to place these anchors, epoxy them in place. I'm going to drill those and mount them inside the gun stock, and there'll be two of them, very stable platform. Again, it'll be epoxied in, and they will not, the third leg doesn't have to stand or stay on there if I don't want it to. It just gives me an option. Again, an update. So I have some more sanding to do. A little bit more. Just wanted to bring us up to speed. So far, very pleased. Everything is going well. And we're having fun. Okay, I finished up, and pretty much what I'm going to do now. So I wanted to kind of show you the finished product here. So start at the very beginning. I have not yet I'm going to put a compensator on here. I have mounted a stud-mounted bipod with a small Picatinny rail at the bottom. Get you to take a look at where the foregrip is mated. The scope base and the Picatinny rail was added to the top of that. Raised the height of the scope up. Added a raised cone. And again, the third leg on the bottom. Again, once over. View the business end of this, if you can see. Whoops. So, I think it turned out very well. I'm going to adjust the light a little bit. Hopefully we can maybe get some detail. I know there's a little bit of glare. So, there you have it. So now this 300 Win Mag is ready to get out. Have some things to do as far as sighting the scope in, making sure that it's trued up, and get ready to send some rounds downrange.